And the next lesson about exponents is going to be exponential graph. How do we graph an exponential equation? Now, there are 4 steps in graphing. I think 3. Watch me do it. The first step is to find the horizontal asymptote. Let me give you one equation. Y equals to 3 times 2x minus 1 plus 2. We're gonna sketch this equation. The first step, like I said, find the horizontal asymptote. I think it's spelled like that, which is this one. But if we ask you what is horizontal asymptote, you cannot say the horizontal asymptote of this equation is 2. That is wrong. You need to say the horizontal asymptote is equals to y equals to 2. That the whole thing, y is equal to 2. That is the horizontal asymptote. Now we're gonna graph. Horizontal asymptote 2, 1, 2. There. We graph our horizontal asymptote by dot lines. That's one is H, A. Now, the next step is to find the y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? In order to find the y-intercept, we use the equation, we replace x by 0. So, y is equal to 3 times 2, 0 minus 1 plus 2. As you can see, I replace x with 0. Now, we're going to calculate the thing. 3 times 2 equals to negative 1 plus 2. As you've learned before, if you have a negative like this, it's this thing, a minus n. You move it up and it'll be a to the power of n. Same here, it's going to be 2 to the power of 1. Or in other words, it's 1 by 2. Okay. 3 times 1 by 2. Now, what is 3 times 1 by 2? It's equals to 3 by 2 plus 2. In order to do this, you will need to have the same base. So, what you need to have the same denominator in order to add them. So it's going to be how do you get the same denominator? If there's only one number, that means the lower part is always 1. So how do you make 1 equals to 2? You times 2 times 2. You need to times both of them if you times the denominator. So it's 3 by 2 equals to plus 4 by 2. Same denominator. Now you can add them. It's gonna be 7 by 2. Same denominator. You don't need to make it 4. It's 2. Now what is 7 by 2? 7 by 2 is equals to 2.75. 2.75. Now that is your y-intercept. You graph the y-intercept. Y-intercept means it should be on the y-line, not on the y-axis, not the x-axis. So in this case, we only have the y, so x is 0. Now x is 0. 2.75, that is between 2 and 3. So our horizontal horizontal asymptote is on 2. Now 3 is there. So 2.75 is 0. 2.75 is somewhere around there. That's our y-intercept. Now the last step, third step, is to choose two numbers, any two numbers, one positive, one negative, and calculate them with the equation and graph them. So let's choose 1 and -1. 1 and -1. Okay, now you put this number instead of x in the equation in order to calculate. Y is equal to 3 times 2, 1 minus 1 plus 2. 3 times 2, what is 1 minus 1?
0.
0 plus 2. Now 3 times 2 to the power of 0. As you've learned before again, if anything is to the power of 0, it is equal to 1 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 equals to 5. So that means the y of this x is 5. We put there 5. Now you calculate the second number, which is -1 minus 1. -1 minus 1. 3 times -1 minus 1 is
-2.
-2. -2 plus 2. 3 times, as you've learned again, you will need to make this and turn this into a fraction by moving. So it's going to be 1, 2 to the power of 2 plus 2. It's going to be 3 times 1 by 4. 2 to the power of 2 is 2 times 2, as you've learned in the first lesson, plus 2. Now 3 times 1 by 4 is 3 by 4 plus 2. Same thing. If you'll need to make the same denominator in order to add the numerator. So this is by 1 times 4 times 4. So this is equal to 3 by 4 plus 8 by 4. Now we have the same denominator, you can add the numerator. So 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 by 4. 11 by 4 is equal to 2.75 again. This is weird. Wait, let me check something. 7 by 2, 7 divided by 2. That's 7 by 2 is 3.75. Yeah. This is a useful tool, but you don't usually use it. That is one way to calculate it, but to make sure, 7 divided by 2 is equal to 3.75. So that is wrong. Our y-intercept is not 2.75. Again, it's 3.5. So that means it's between 3 and 4. This is our horizontal asymptote is on 2. So that's 3. That's 4. So 3.5 is going to be somewhere around here. There. That's our y-intercept. Now, as we're calculating 11 by 4, let's try calculating with your hands first, and then marker your board, come on, calculator. 11, 4, that's
2.75.
yeah. 11 minus 8, 3. 7. 0, 5. 2.75. By calculator, it is also 2.75. So 11 by 4 is equal to 2.75. Now that's our second number. -1, the y is equal to 2.75. Now we've got two other points that we could graph in our exponential graph. So you plot these points on the graph. You have the horizontal asymptote here on the first one. You have the y-intercept here on the second one. Now the third one, you have those points you have calculated from that equation. You graph it. X is equal to 1. That's it. 1. And y is 5. So 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 5 is going to be there. That's the first point. Now -1 and 2.75. -1 is there on the x-axis, and 2.75 is between 2 and 3. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Between 2 and 3 is going to be somewhere around there. Now you have the 3 points, which is enough for drawing the graph. You draw the graph. Join the dots. The graph of an exponential graph is like this. The line is always going to go very near to the horizontal asymptote or the main line. It will go very, very close, but never touching the line. And it doesn't need to be a perfect curve, but it's gonna come out similar to this one. So that's how you graph an exponential graph. And to summarize it, there are 3 steps. Find the horizontal asymptote, which is in the equation, the last number. It's not 2, it's y is equal to 2. That's a horizontal asymptote. And the second step is to find the y-intercept by replacing x with 0. Then the third step is to choose 2 points, one positive and one negative, calculated with the equation, and then you graph it, and then you draw the curve. That's how you graph an exponential curve.